Hi, everyone. Welcome to the IGDA Foundation Holiday Chat. Woo, woo.
Here we are.
We actually didn't coordinate the jazz hands, but we're going to go with it. My name is Nika Nour. I'm the Executive Director of the International Game Developers Association Foundation, home to the programming that welcomes everyone who wants to make games, regardless of what you look like, feel like, meow, like, who cares? Games are meant to be for everyone, and I vehemently believe, and I think my colleagues vehemently believe that it doesn't matter what you look like, and what you look like should not be a barrier to making games or jobs or anything, because all that stuff is just noise we want to shove out the door. With that, I want to bring to you the wonderful, awesome people that made this shit happen this year. I promised I wouldn't use bad words, and I've already gotten my first strike. Anyway, so bringing together the awesome people, just to give a quick context, we normally run in-person programming at the Game Developers Conference. We fly in scholarship recipients from around the world to include and increase opportunities, not just to jobs, but to growth development, and also maybe just get people to burn out a little bit less in games. We know that coming from underrepresented communities, we have a lot of challenges coming up in our way. And this year, even though we had a bit of a crisis, we were like, we're not going to give up. We're not going to let people put their dreams on hold, because we have no idea how long this pandemic is going to last. And boy, girl, man, gosh, I am so happy that we made the decision to continue to support people and not just roll over the programming. So let's go around with some introductions. I'm going to do it in order of my screen. Sarah, why don't you kick us off? Who are you?
Oh, okay. So hi, I'm Sarah. I am a program manager at the IGDA Foundation. And during the day, I am a producer at Studio Dry Dock, which is an indie company dedicated to making games for underserved audiences.
Wyn, how's it going?
It's going. Hi, I am Wyn Rush, and over the summer, I helped facilitate the community with the IGDA Foundation Grantee Program, and it was incredible. Right now, I am consulting for Netflix and Mattel on some interactive narrative stuff. But yeah, that's what I do.
Brie, who are you?
That's a very existential question. I am Brie Wendt. I am the operations manager for the IGDA Foundation. I have been for the last 3 years and hopefully longer. I love working with this org, with this mission. I am really passionate about helping marginalized people get into games, and it's just so rewarding. And this summer was just fantastic. I'm so proud of everyone in this call for making the pivot and doing everything they did, because it was just extraordinary.
Fantastic. Brie, do you mind maybe giving us, just like before we go into this year, what is it that we normally do? Because I just got into this gig before all this hit. I don't actually know how our scholarships work, because I've never seen them in action.
Yeah, I mean, it's both complicated and very simple. We typically, in years past, we've had 3 different program tracks. We've had the IGDA Scholars, which has kind of a long history, and that's been for students of the game development industry wanting to get into the industry, get their first jobs, etc. We've had the Next Gen Leaders, which has been for mid-level career people, marginalized people who want to stay in the industry, and we try and help them do that, level up their career, get them to that next stage. And then our Velocity program, which is for people of marginalized genders, help them find their first job, even if they're coming in from outside the industry and they've never worked in the industry before. So we have these programs, we get lots of applications, we review them with a pretty large group of industry people who help us sort through just all the amazing candidates who apply. And really, every single one of them is deserving, and it's so hard every year to decide who gets to come and participate. So we always encourage people who've applied before but didn't get in, please apply again. I'm telling you this now, please apply. So with these programs, like Nika mentioned, it's typically in person. We bring about 60 people to San Francisco for the Game Developers Conference. And for the week of the conference, we provide them with introductions to industry luminaries. They have Q&As with people in the industry. They have networking sessions. We help them. We have in-depth discussions about aspects of working in the industry, about careers in the industry. It's really hard to quantify everything that we do because there's so much packed into that week. And we try and support them afterwards as well by lifting them up, making sure that we recognize the achievements of the people who have been in our program. I'd say it's a little different from what we're doing this year. And Sarah and Wyn can talk about that more because it's just pivoting to this online platform. There's just so much more that we're capable of doing than we have in the past. And so that's what's really exciting to me. And I know that was a very long-winded answer.
No,
hopefully
helpful. That's what we need. It's called background information. Wyn and Sarah, you're both prior recipients of IGDA Foundation's programming. Yeah? No? Fake news?
No, real news.
Oh, wow.
The very true.
Do you mind kind of chatting a little bit, and we'll chat with both of you, but like, what is it like, and what was it like, like did being a scholarship recipient of some sort help? And now what is it like, kind of almost like you both are paying it forward, like you're part of the program. It's kind of unreal. I still can't wrap my head around it.
I had to laugh when you said, did it help? Because I feel like it would be impossible to like actually list out every way that it's helped. So yes, it helped so much. It helped me connect with a group of people. I came in as also Sarah, I'm sorry, I kind of jumped in there, but I figured we were gonna like collab on this answer like we do. But yeah, I came in as the next gen leader, and that's the award that the IGDAF gives out for mid-career developers, marginalized devs, to help retain them and minimize burnout. And the lessons that I learned there, the people that I met, could not have come at a more pivotal time in my career. At the time, I had just started a brand new project at Jam City. They'd greenlit something really brave and new for them as a studio, and I was kind of like team zero for that. And it really helped me to manage not only, personal stress, because life can get difficult, but also professional good stress. And additionally, it introduced me to a group of people who have quite literally become family. I mean, getting to be part of the grantee program this year has definitely helped weather the storm that has been 2020. And yeah, it's just been fantastic. I would recommend applying and really, really, truly reapplying. I happened to get it on my first try, not a humble brag, but I know so many incredible developers who I think are more incredible than me, who, really had to try 2 or 3 times. And I am in awe of them. And I think really it's worth really throwing your hat back in the ring.
For sure. So I actually wound up applying to Scholars twice. Or essentially what happened is I found the IGDA Foundation and their programs like right before the deadline. So the first time I applied, I scrambled and I worked really hard, but I didn't get in, and I was so disappointed. And what I wound up doing is just trying to figure out, what would a scholar do? And I went and started a club at my school, and I went and met people, and I tried to, make games and host game jams. And then I applied again, and I actually got into Scholars and was also offered what at the time was called Women in Games Ambassadors. And Scholars was amazing. I met so many wonderful people, again, still friends with a lot of them. But what I really appreciated was that at the time as a student, I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do. And Scholars helped me find my direction and helped me realize I want to be a producer. I want to work with all these different amazing developers. And it gave me the confidence to be able to talk about myself and talk about my work. And just seeing our grantees go through the online program this year has been amazing, because I've seen a lot of them, you know, come in with like major imposter syndrome. And then when they leave the program, have a better sense of who they are and what they want to do. And then they're getting jobs, or they're getting awards, or, you know, they're on like the top 100 biz lists, you know, and it's amazing just to see them and what they do. And it's so humbling to be, you know, part of this network together.
Well, and I just want to jump in because both of you being past recipients, I think that's one of my favorite thing about this org is that we have people like you who come back and be a part of it for the next generation of grantees, and it's a beautiful thing. And I'm always so happy and kind of blown away that we had enough of an impact that you'd want to stick it out with us.
I don't mean to like turn this into a mushy love fest, right? But you all have like, I know, well, like you all have worked, we've all worked closely together all year in ways, and you all know, I tend to divorce my feelings from my like words and my partnerships, but I still remember, like, it is strange having not gone through this program, but working with you all specifically, I want to thank all three of you, because it really was not going to get done if you weren't here. And I am so also blown away by how our grantees have grown, gotten jobs, gotten promoted, gotten offers. And I still remember when we had our wrap-up party, our digital party, right? I remember everyone, we're not just having parties, we're not, you know, we're doing all online. But I still remember I've always been so like, get to the next thing, get this person here, get this like famous indie developer behind the Zoom or else, right? Like I've just been so task oriented that when we had our wrap-up party, I don't think I told you this, like afterwards, I was like very emotional. Like I think I just went into like a room and like was like talking to myself and like crying about how it was so strange because the grantees had come back and just been like, this is so much better than what we expected. Like you know, I don't know what your feedback has been. We've had grantees just tell us like, there's no way I would have gotten through the pandemic, or this community has really helped just advance everything and keep my sanity. And it's strange because you're all 2D people on like my computer. I can't touch you. So it's very weird. Like I'm trying to find ways, you know, like how do you add meaning when people are like, I swear you changed my life. And I'm like, are you a real person or are you like a deep fake video? I can't really tell if we're helping people or not. So.
Well, I think it's extra extraordinary because there was so much, I would say, fear and concern at the beginning of this pivot for us about whether this digital online experience would be at least as helpful and good, or whatever you want to say about it, as the in-person experience. People were really worried that it wouldn't be enough without being able to go to GDC. And I really think that people like Sarah and Wyn and Nika's incredible devotion and efforts toward this org that made the experience what it was for these people, that made it worth it, that made it even, I think, better than it could have been.
I'm gonna explode from feelings. It's just gonna happen. This is gonna be the call when Wyn just pops from feels.
I've got a little tear in my eye that I'm trying to wipe away. Like it's always every year after GDC is over, after the programs are over, and you get that feedback from people about how amazing it is. There's always tears. Yeah. One of the things that we would do at the end of GDC is each group would get together for a kind of decompression review of the week kind of experience, and just the friendships that were made and the experiences that they had and the high of the week. It always got emotional. And everybody was always like, I don't want to go. I don't want to stop seeing you.
Yeah, and I'm so glad we were able to kind of replicate that with our program. And I mean, we're still all in the Discord, and we see them interact like every day. They're planning their own hangouts. They're celebrating each other's successes, helping each other get jobs. It's just amazing.
Well, and Sarah and Wyn, you both have been so critical to creating community. I'd love to kind of hear about, because that's the weird thing about like online, is that like it doesn't end. It keeps going.
Yeah, we can't just wave goodbye and send them all home on airplanes.
Right. Oh, it's tough. I mean, I feel like Wyn probably is better equipped to answer this, because I do the more project managey things. But I think at least what I've learned in doing this is being vulnerable and being okay with being, I guess, casual kind of in Discord has helped, because I think that when you don't have that face-to-face, it's really hard to know who's behind the keyboard. And so you want to be friendly, and you want to celebrate everything and like react with emojis to everything, because you want them to know that you really do support them. I don't know, Wyn, you probably have better insight to this than I do.
I mean, really and truly, I feel like vulnerability, as you mentioned, was something that I really found myself bringing forward over the summer. There was I like the internet, and I like the weird lack of time space that we managed to achieve, and the fact that I can now think about any time in multiple time zones at one time. I should not know constantly what time it is in like Sweden and also Tokyo, but I do, and it's a blessing and a curse. But it was just so incredible to see in a year that was so rife with disconnection and quarantines and lockdowns, that we managed to create a space with a bunch of incredible developers who continue, as you all have said, to blow me away, to get jobs, to be on, lists that I wish I was on, just like incredible people from all over the world, and to bring them together and to make content that was accessible. Of course, we can all always do better at that, but as accessible as we could for our first go around, and just to have them engage and have them be watching the content and be present for the conversations and active in their groups and learning from each other. And just as that community started to grow and they started to really connect with each other, it was almost like you could just take a step back and watch it unfold, and it continues to unfold. And I really think not only is all the great feedback a testament to the programs, but also the fact that they don't want to leave is incredible. Mm-hmm. Like, they were all very worried we were just gonna flip a switch and send them on a metaphorical plane, but we created something that is bigger than that, and I know that we're only going to keep creating and building on that foundation.
Yeah. Looking ahead to 2021, surprise announcement, we're going full virtual. Whoa, didn't see that coming. With the uncertainties of just like, I'm so done with like saying with the uncertainties, but the truth is we just don't know what's going on with conferences and stuff. And like, I know we've been getting lots of questions, but the truth is it takes months of planning to send physical people anywhere. I get some people are asking but to keep it truly inclusive, we have to invite everyone. And there are some countries where we've got border restrictions, we've got visa issues, we've got governmental whatevers. And guess what? We are not the government. Surprise, we're not the government. Sorry to talk about the secret sauce, but so we're going full virtual. And a question I have for everyone is what should we look forward to? In what ways, do we serve, and this is more existential outside of just our program, but in what ways do we serve the community, especially when it comes to the realm of diversity? We had a big year, not just from the pandemic, but people are talking about diversity in different ways, in serious ways. So, what's next?
One of the things that I thought of when you were talking about this was my excitement for 2021 and going virtual, because it makes the accessibility of our programs so much greater. People who couldn't fly for whatever various reasons, issues with being able to enter the US because of visa restrictions or what have you, it removes those barriers in a really significant way and allows them to access the resources we have. And I think the way in which we'll be able to increase the diversity of our programs that way is really significant.
Another thing I'm looking forward to as well is one of the things with going virtual that's great is that in the past when we've had our programs at GDC, it's been really, really hard to get amazing speakers and mentors to work with our grantees. And it wasn't because they didn't care, it was just because they were so incredibly busy and already donating a lot of their time. But now with having this virtual program, it's so much easier for people to give their time and energy and mentorship towards these grantees. And I'm looking forward to working with even more developers than we did this year. Like we had like 100 plus, we're gonna have like 200 plus or 300 plus, you know, in the future.
YouTube won't have enough space to hold all of the content that we're going to make next year.
Yeah.
We're just going to inundate people. No, and it's just all incredible. Thinking back to when I started in the industry and all of the cool developers I got to meet by being both a next gen leader and being involved in the program, we have an accessibility of information issue in this industry. And I love that we bring veteran voices together, disciplines that would not normally interact with each other, to bring information and firsthand experience of what being in this industry is really like to young developers, novice developers who are green and really want to learn. I feel like getting that information out and sharing it with everybody and getting access so that everyone can really be on the same page about what this career in this industry is like. Like GDC is incredible and I love it, but Sarah, like you were saying, it can be so overwhelming. And I feel like we've really created a space where we're very transparent and we are very open with information and we want everyone around us to learn and grow. And because that is so much our focus, I think that, you know, young developers are getting a chance to really wrap their heads around really cool information that I wish I had when I first started. Yeah.
Well, I love everything that everyone said. I think I would top it with saying the beauty with online, right? Just to give some insight into how the secret sauce is made, right? The beauty of online means we can scale how many people will help. I don't want to like kind of mark down the value of an in-person experience. I'm an extreme extrovert, right? Like, so it's, you know, like you can't replace that in-person coffee. Again, you sit in this chair for hours and hours and you wonder if the people you're talking to are real people. All right. Like it's kind of weird after a while, but I'm not saying you all aren't real. I totally value and recognize the existence of everybody on the Zoom call, but Brie's like, I'm an avatar.
I'm one of those like Japanese Vocaloids.
I'm ready for Brie to be like, surprise, I'm just an AI generated operations person. but right, like I wouldn't be surprised. But also, right, just like putting that aside, you know, it takes resources, it takes support, it takes companies stepping up to say, yes, we give a shit. And then it's really exhausting when companies don't give or they don't donate resources. It doesn't mean that they don't care, but it's just CSR is very different. I see that a cat has now joined. Yes, the cat's name
Sorry, Nika. Sorry to derail you.
It's okay. The cat's name is Anders. Anders wants to be a part of this. Anders is the other secret pet mascot. But the real thing is for you three, I am very indebted to your dedication, to your honesty, to your transparency. Even like, I think with all of us, we've had like fun side, like, you know, we've had like conflicting arguments about how to make things better. And that passion is really what drives, because nobody here is like a, yes, I'll just do this person. Everyone's like, no, you need to think about things like this for the people that we're serving. And the diversity, not just from people, but the diversity of ideas and the backgrounds and expertise is what's made this unique. So I cannot like, maybe I can do more, I don't know, but like the credit that goes to everyone on this call, but also I think what people don't know is because we have accidentally black boxed our like operations. There are so many freaking volunteers at the IGDA Foundation. I finally had to go through and do a physical count for paperwork reasons. I was like, oh shoot, there are so many volunteers that do behind the scenes work, everything from mentorship to volunteering to running programs. The board itself puts in so many hours and hops on so many calls. And then our partners and sponsors that were like, yeah, it's a pandemic year, but I'll help you. Thank you to all of them, because it's not that I was ever like worried, because, you know, I got perspective on credit, it's a whole thing, but it was not a comfortable year. It was not an easy year. It was a little bit of it is obviously a scary year, but the point is that we pulled through because the community stepped up, and you three specifically, in addition to the others, but you three really dug your heels in to ensure that there was at least a remote possibility of success. And that meant a lot. It did not go unnoticed by anyone.
Yeah, the support that we receive from our community is really astounding and humbling. The people who volunteer, who give back after going through our programs, who haven't gone through our programs but just believe in what we do, believe in our mission and support that mission is really beautiful.
Awesome. Wyn and Sarah, do you have anything else you want to add before we kind of wrap it up?
Well,
Sarah.
I had to mute because he likes to purr into the mic. So
a little ASMR for us.
Yeah, just in case. No, I appreciate, you know, how much effort everyone has put in. It's been so amazing. I think working with the IGDA Foundation kind of like gave me purpose in a year that was really uncertain and scary. And I'm so thankful for being involved. And I also want to say thank you to Nika for all of your hard work too. I've hopped on so many calls with you, I can't even count. And you're always ready to go, have so many ideas and are ready to help people. And it's just amazing.
Yeah, I want to second that. Nika, I appreciate you making me cry twice now. And the validation and the recognition is so, it feels very good, especially because it was a whole new skill for me. And I really appreciate you guys taking a chance on that. I had never facilitated a community before, and it was something I'd always wanted to really do. And I really wanted to give back to the foundation in some way, because that's how important it is to me. And so getting to come back into the fold and be part of it again was, I mean, I have a lot to be thankful for this year, including my health, but getting to run the community and the Discord was the highlight of my year. It got me through some of the hardest of these months. It got me through transitioning from the West Coast to the East Coast. And it was a touch point for me. And I know that the pandemic isn't going to end in 2021. And I really believe that we are all going to come together again next summer and build, like I said, on this foundation that we have and reach more people and bring in more sponsors and create more diversity of thought and of developers and really just grow this community that I think is already so incredible. Yeah, thank you so much. You really have been, oh yeah, that's where I was going with that. Nika, you are also incredible. Sorry, I totally lost my train of thought. Nika, seriously, thank you so much. You have, I don't know, you've been incredible. I'm so grateful to have met all of you. Brie, I knew you prior, but to have met not only all of our great grantees, but to have gotten to become friends with y'all and to be inspired by your tenacity and your professionalism and your dedication and your communication patterns, even when they brushed up against mine. I've learned so much from all of you, and I think you're all just some of the most incredible women in games. So thank you.
Well, and I third that thanking Nika, because I have the privilege to see her calendar. And the number of meetings that she has on it, the amount of work that she puts in, the time that she dedicates, like, Nika, you are incredible. You are a powerhouse. and you do more than I ever could. Like, it is just incredible.
It's not a comparative thing. It's just a caffeine issue.
It's not just.
It's just
you impress me constantly.
This is a coffee cup that I just fill with more iced coffee. It looks like I went to Starbucks, but it's because I've run out of good coffee cups. So people keep thinking I'm drinking wine all the time out of my normal glassware. So I've been reusing my Starbucks cup because apparently the only clear glassware I have is water glasses and wine glasses. So it's all caffeine related. And I don't know. I mean, that was a lot. So pro tip, if you don't have the proper drinking ware in your cabinet, order Starbucks once, save a cup of coffee and put it in here so that people don't think you're drinking wine on all your meetings.
I do love using takeout cups as like my water glasses and things like that. Because there's just something nice about like drinking out of a small hole versus an entire cup. Well,
nice.
Just to get mushy a little bit more before we finish this up. I've been with the foundation now, like I said, for 3 years, and in that time I've struggled a lot with my mental health, and the foundation has been there for me through it all. And in a place of hopelessness that I kind of exist in a lot of the time, knowing that what I'm doing with the foundation has this impact genuinely helps me carry on and carry through. And it's been so important for me, and I can't verbalize just how much this organization means to me.
I can't wait for IGDA to retitle this. And the IGDA Foundation cries for 40 minutes. Because I'm just trying not to. All right. Oh, that's awesome. There. I know. It's like, quick, everyone, reapply eyeliner fast. Okay. No, anyway.
We're all cutting onions at the same time.
I know. Anyway, thank you to everyone. Thank you to our cousin organization, IGDA, for this awesome holiday hackathon. And Sarah, Brie, Wyn, I cannot wait to see what we all do next. I am mandating a cool down of operations minus essential meetings over the holidays, please. Wyn's like, what essential meetings? I was like, don't worry, Wyn, you're not on. Just don't worry about it. Like, but everyone, please take, deep breaths, sleep, self-care, bubble baths, enjoy what you can. This goes out to our mascot cat Anders that made a cameo. You too. I really love this. And anyone who's watching this, if you're looking at ways to support or join, go to igdafoundation.org. For more information on our programs, check us out on Twitter and Facebook. We're at IGDA Foundation. My Twitter handle is @Nika. My DMs are open for probably 2 more months before I go private because it's social media and I get wigged out. But otherwise, if you are someone who is interested in joining, whether you are mid-career or early, keep an eye out for our applications. Bug Brie, as she said, I take a lot of meetings and I'm trash at email. Everybody else knows this, but bug Brie. Bug us on social. Don't if you feel like, oh, I'm not good enough. Nobody's ever good enough. Who cares? Your feelings do matter, but don't get in your own head. Everyone has value. Everyone is worth it. Just apply. Just apply and see what happens, because the worst case is we say no, and your life doesn't change if we say no. It doesn't matter at all. So just give it your best shot. If you have any questions, just apply, just reach out. Like Wyn said, we're really transparent, probably almost oddly transparent. That's just because we really want people to understand and do their best and succeed. We have no agenda. We have no ill intention. We do this because we give a shit.
That's your third, by the way.
I was going to say $3 in the swear jar.
$3 in the swear jar. I'm donating $3 to the IGDA Foundation right after this. All right.
Nice.
All right. Bye, everyone. Have a great day.
Bye.
Happy holidays.